Hello, my name is Katerina. I'm in charge of the medical field at Instrumentation Technologies Libra unit. I'm delighted to have with me our project partners from AVO-ADAM, Giovanni De Michele, Deputy Technical Director, and Jay Sinclair, Director of US Operations, to present a very exciting project we're collaborating on together, AVO-ADAM's Linac for Image-Guided Hadron Therapy, its breakthrough technology, and Libra's role in it. First, for those of you who don't know us yet, a few facts about the company and what we do. Instrumentation Technologies, established more than 22 years ago, is a privately owned company with over 45 employees, located in Slovenia, that's in Central Europe, bordered by Italy, Austria, Hungary, and Croatia, in a town that has the longest stone arch spanning a river and the longest stone arch railway bridge in the world. This world-famous town is the home of Libra. With Libra is where the story of instrumentation technologies began. It's the oldest branch of instrumentation technologies, covering beam diagnostics and control instrumentation that is primarily used in particle accelerators. Through the years, we've gathered a wealth of knowledge and experience, which we've leveraged and now offer experience in many different technologically demanding fields. I'll highlight just a few of them to give you an idea of the range of scope. Within the Libra unit in the particle accelerator field, we encompass also those in medical facilities, and the instrumentation is also applicable in experimental stations and nuclear reactors. Within the solutions for industries, we cover custom data acquisition projects used in automotive industry, aerospace, telecommunications, and other, smart communication, Internet of Things, and so on. And we are the creators of the spin-off company Red Pitaya, world famous, and has been dubbed as being the provider of Swiss Army knife solutions for engineers. It provides open source, general purpose lab devices, pocket size, very popular in the academia, research labs, and industry. The Libra brand takes its name after Instrumentation Technologies' brand name for the beam diagnostics and control instrumentation for particle accelerators, where our solutions are applied for understanding, monitoring, and optimizing the particle accelerating, helping to achieve precisely known, stable, and reliable beam, which in medical applications is of utmost importance for any type of facility. So where does Libra come into play in these examples on the right? In the heart, so the machine particle accelerator itself, where different subsystems work together to provide the desired beam parameters. Libra covers not only solutions for particle therapy, but also other accelerator-based solutions like your neutron capture therapy, flash therapy, radioisotope production, and many others. What exactly is meant by beam diagnostics and control instrumentation, you may ask? Well, to name a few concrete examples, that would be solutions for measuring beam position in the accelerator machine, beam pipe, measuring particle RF acceleration, controlling it and tuning it, accurate timing and intersynchronization of instruments, and measuring beam loss in the machine. All these have to work together seamlessly 24/7. Since the beginning, our ambition has been to exceed the boundaries of its existing technical practices, which has led to Libra setting the benchmark for others and paved the road to Instrumentation Technologies becoming the world's leading provider of comprehensive solutions of performance instrumentation for particle accelerators. We stand out because of our reliability and robustness of instruments. Our instruments are used in critical parts of particle accelerator machines, thousands of them running continuously many of them for more than 15 years around the world. So we understand the importance of availability, and we have quality assurance processes in place to make sure this requirement is met for each produced unit. Along with our instruments, we provide comprehensive service and support, and based on our rich experience, this could either be the initial first contact, defining the requirements, the necessary customizations, and then any proof of concept that is needed, hands-on training if necessary, commissioning assistance once the instruments are installed on site, and of course on-site and remote support. Not to mention, we also manage component obsolescence, and we make sure that our instruments are backward compatible.
I really appreciate it, Katarina. Thank you for the introduction. And whilst I ask our colleague Giovanni to load our slides, I think that it's a real honor and a pleasure to be presenting collaboratively with Instrumentation Technologies today. Our product couldn't be the solution that it is without your product. And I believe that the future of our industry is through collaboration. And this is a great example of that. So Giovanni and I will be presenting the next few slides in tandem. I will do the first few, and then Giovanni will take on the last few remaining slides as well. So a little bit about the company. AVO is a publicly traded company. It is headquartered in the United Kingdom, and our R&D business is based on the CERN campus on the French-Swiss border. We have over 150 employees in offices in Geneva, in the UK, in the US, and in the Netherlands. We have two facilities. One is our facility in Geneva at the CERN site, the other in the UK at a facility called the Science Technologies Facilities Council at Daresbury, the equivalent of a mini CERN. AVO's first product within the patent and product portfolio is LIGHT, a Linac image-guided for hadron therapy, the world's first proton linear accelerator. And AVO manufactures, sells, and maintains proton therapy systems. Whilst we are not a manufacturer ourselves, an example of our relationship with Instrumentation Technologies, we use an expert supply chain of partners to deliver our solution from known industries, whether it be medical, whether it be aerospace, defense, or even automotive. The major differentiator of our system compared to other systems currently on the market is that we are a linear accelerator. And that in itself has some known advantages, which we will come on to in a little bit. Just to describe a little bit about the marketplace, the demand at the moment is not keeping up with the supply, and the potential is huge, and we are only scratching the surface. We know that radiotherapy is approximately 1/3 of a cancer or oncology department alongside surgery and chemotherapy. And with new modalities like immunotherapy and crossovers between radiation and immunotherapy, the world of cancer and cancer treatments is moving in a really rapid pace. We believe all solid state tumors are capable of being treated with light, and we'll move on to some of those types of cancers on the next slide. On this graph that you see here on the right, we're looking at the differences between the increase in incidence and the median 5-year survival rates. And I think all of the blue bubbles that we see here are examples of tumors and locations that are currently treated with all types of radiotherapy, photon and proton. But I think it is the box on the bottom in gray that is where AVO and light will really come into its own. As a consequence of our highly conformal treatments, short delivery times, and ability to mitigate motion management, we believe that having an impact for patients suffering from liver, pancreas, lung, and stomach cancers, and being able to increase the 5-year survival rate is where we can really add value. And that is where we hope our customers and clients will utilize light. Moving on now to the actual light system. And on the bottom left, you can see the end-to-end system from the proton source through to the treatment room and all the accelerating units that we use that make up our accelerator, our light system. One of the aspects that I wanted to pick up on is the modular nature of light. Each unit is modular, can be carried by a few human beings. It doesn't need large cranes. The building can be designed and the equipment installed rather than the other way around. And an example that we wanted to show in terms of how modular the light system is that we can install a light system in roughly the equivalent of 20 car parking spaces that you would find at any regular clinic or hospital around the world. On this page, we talk about the treatment room, the area that most clients and customers, in our opinion, will interact with our light system. And this is where the patients will have their first interaction with light as well. We offer two solutions at the moment. One is a fixed beam treatment room, as you see in the top right-hand corner, and the bottom, like the picture behind me, is a picture of gantry system. Now, both systems are capable of treating with light for protons, and we constantly monitor the market for new developments, whether that be standing upright treatment rooms or future developments as they come onto the market. One of the advantages of AVO is that we constantly monitor the market for new advances and new technologies, and are able to accommodate those progressions as and when they occur. An example of that is our treatment planning software provider, Research, who are probably the market leader at the moment and who have been jointly developing a software solution specifically for our solution from the ground up. So a couple of points that I just wanted to mention while we're on this slide. Light is a fully electronically controlled accelerator. There are no absorbers. The other important factor is that our beam losses along the accelerator are incredibly small, which makes the proton bunches that come out at after the high energy beam transfer in the treatment room quite pure. As a consequence of a linear accelerator, no moving parts or absorbers or mechanical parts, there is very little beam loss along the accelerating line, requiring even less shielding and ultimately in the site footprint, vastly reducing it. A big factor in the wider adoption of proton therapy, in our opinion, is the size, the cost, and the complexity of a proton project. And that is one way that we are trying to address that imbalance at the moment. We'll come on to some of the more clinical advantages, but as a consequence of us being able to control the beam electronically, we have the world's fastest energy changes, 200 times a second, every 5 milliseconds, which leads to some very interesting advances in treatments, or moving towards the holy grail of in-room real-time adaptive radiotherapy that everybody is looking forward to. And clearly what's on everybody's lips at the moment, the delivery of flash radiotherapy, 100% of the dose delivered in a fraction of a second. Underpinning our company is obviously our connection with CERN, where the origins of this technology derive from, but it is also the connections that we have around the world that will be part of our global ambition. Important to this is a relationship with a shareholder and exclusive distributor in China, a company called RealCan. I think the market would agree with me when describing the largest growth in radiotherapy will come from the Southeast Asian marketplace, of which we are ideally suited to capitalize on with our relationship with RealCan. But we have more relationships than just RealCan and in Asia. In the United Kingdom, where the company is located and where our second R&D facility is, we have a very interesting collaboration with the University Hospitals Birmingham NHS Foundation Trust. They are working alongside us at Daresbury to treat our first patient cohort and where we will achieve our first regulatory approval. But we have more than just that. We have our first flagship project, and you'll hear more from Giovanni shortly about that project in central London. But that's with the UK's longest and largest private hospital, the London Clinic. Another recently commercially announced deal was with the Mediterranean Hospital of Cyprus, where we're delivering a 3 treatment room solution there as well. And this is where I will hand over to Giovanni. Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you, Jay. To complete, also we have, for sure, as you said already, collaboration with STFC, where there is our verification validation site, and CERN, actually ADAM, the R&D company, is a spin-off of CERN. CERN is just here behind the ADAM building that you see in this picture. So what we have done so far is the validation of our technology, is the fast energy change of the proton beam in a range of energy that is low. You can treat superficial cancer with this energy, and this is the proof that our linear accelerator can change the energy without the use of the absorber. So this was done electronically at 200 times a second, and we were painting the name of our company with while varying the energy of the proton beam. Another success and proof of our technology was the modulation of the beam current also at 200 Hz. On the right, you see part of our Linac that was tested in the accelerator or vault that is on the CERN campus. This is a copper cavity. And then on the bottom right, there are some measurements and simulation of the property of the beams that were measured back in time. Where we are now, as Jay was mentioning before, we are installing our machine and verification validation site in the UK. We are using the campus, the STFC campus, and in particular this building, the tower building, where in the past was hosting other accelerators. So you can see our flexibility of our machine, where in a circular building we are going to install a linear machine. So you see here the cut of the building. So here on top there is a linear accelerator, the transfer line, and the treatment room. On the right here, you see a picture from the inside of the accelerator vault under installation and testing. And in the center here, we have the control room, the AVO control room for this verification validation site. As Jay was mentioning before, we will treat the first patient there in collaboration with the UHB. Where we want to go and where we will go is in the center of London. So we are going to install our machine in this listed building, and this is a challenge, and we are taking up this challenge, and we can show you how we can install our machine over there. You see here the section of the building in Ali Street, and just below the ground, we have integrated our linear accelerator, then will bend and will go just below the ground, almost 2 stories up to the treatment room. I must say that this has been a combined effort with also many suppliers that we have. And here now we are partnering with Instrumentation Technologies. I would like to thank them for very advanced hardware that is delivered to us, and that is under actually now operation, like the Libera low-level ref boxes and the Libera beam position monitoring system. So with these systems, we can really control in real time the properties of our beam, because we are synchronizing the accelerating structure. We are also correcting the electromagnetic field inside the cavity with the Libera boxes. On top of that, we are also measuring very precisely the beam position along our Linac. Here on the right, you see the hardware that we have installed in our VME site in Desbury, and these are all Libera boxes. And you have to imagine that with almost 2 of those racks, we'll cover all the needs of our light machine in terms of RF controls. I have also to say that the collaboration with Instrumentation Technology was also perfect in the sense of project management and communication plan. They have proved that they can follow the design development process according to the medical device standard, the ISO 13485. And during the tests that we have done in our facility, they were very reactive in answering our question and fixing our issues, but also they were also proactive in anticipating the risks during the design and development phase. On their own, we can say that Instrumentation Technology is a key supplier for the advanced oncotherapy, and we hope to collaborate with them in the future to make this project a success. I would like to thank you, everyone, for your attention. If you want to reach us, you can contact directly us, Giovanni or Jay, or just send an email for info at our address. We are also on all the social media, and so you can reach us also there. Thank you very much for your attention. I will hand over to
Giovanni.
Thank you, both of you, Giovanni and Jay. I would like to close this talk with the thought that the key in innovative projects is early involvement, and because innovative projects come with unique challenges, so partnering up early can lead to solutions you've never imagined even existed. Don't you agree? So many thanks. We're looking forward to your challenges.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Katerina.